All right, Shalom. It's your brother Quashab. Coming at you with another quick lesson. Before I get started, I want to give all praises, glory, infinite honors unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachak Wadash. Double honor to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, who tell me the truth and rule well, and peace, blessings, salutations be to those who elect, as well as those that believe in the gospel, and may you endure to the end, Lord willing. All right, and as you can see, within the news, the things that are happening, all right, that all hell is getting ready to break loose in America, man. All right. And I was listening to the elder brother Yaganan. I listened to a lesson he was doing earlier, well, from last night, I listened to earlier. And he made a point, that the spirit of prophecy, all right, there's a lot of brothers going into the same topics, all right, and that's in a nutshell what you call the spirit of prophecy, all right. All the men, all right, that's the spirit of Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai is working with, okay, they're going to be speaking on one accord, all right, a lot of things happening, a lot of events being covered and filtered through the scriptures, man, all right, but eventually, all right, these things are about to boil over, man, all right, it's about to be a lot of hell, all right, a lot of chaos out on the streets, man, all right, so I'm going to just let this video play. All right, I got a few precepts in mind, and Lord willing to be edifying.
Crisis in Washington now seems inevitable. The second government shutdown of President Trump's second term in office seems almost certain to happen, all as a result of what happened on Saturday, the deadly shooting involving 37-year-old Alex Pretty in Minneapolis, being shot and killed by ICE agents after their encounter. Now Senate Democrats are saying that they absolutely will not provide any money to ICE unless there are some serious changes. And here's the problem. That money for ICE is rolled into a larger funding package that must pass Congress by the end of the day on Friday. It was already passed the House. The House is on recess. And now Democrats say they have the votes to block that bill because in the 53-47 Senate, you need 60 votes to advance any legislation. And Chuck Schumer, the Senate Democratic leader, says Republicans do not have the votes unless those changes are made. Now, the question is going to be, how long will Democrats dig in? Will the White House concede in any way? Because other agencies would be impacted by this crisis. The Defense Department, Health and Human Services, the Labor Department, Housing and Urban Development, Homeland Security Department, and others. So that means so many people will be impacted, thousands of employees furloughed, people will lose paychecks. Where will this end up? I caught up with one Democrat who's running for Senate in Minnesota, who's a congresswoman, Angie Craig. She told me that Senate Democrats should hold the line.
That's the lever we have at this moment in time. I mean, are we okay that an authoritarian administration is taking over American cities? Are we okay that our First Amendment...
All right, let's get this word, authoritarian. All right. Let's see. It says favoring imposed over freedom, right, which authority plus and, which originally had this meaning to itself, the noun and sense of one advocating or practicing the principle of authority over individual freedom, all right, and that's, what we're seeing, all right, being ushered in by DJ T, all right, Donald J. Trump, all right, he's ushering in, all right, the practicing of principles of authority over individual freedom, all right, which they call America the land of the free, all right, he's getting ready to show you that this is not so much the land of the free, all right, which is why, another thing that's been in the news that's been circulating is the Insurrection Act, all right, if you don't know what that is, you can go look it up on your own time, excuse me, but, and this is what we're heading towards, all right? When you look up this word authoritarian, it goes some synonyms or autocratic. It says holding unlimited and independent powers of government, right? A dictatorial pertaining to a dictator, a leader, all right? A martinet, a system of strict discipline, you see? These are the words, all right, the buzzwords that surround this word authoritarian, all right, which, you have the Democrats, that's what I call them, because it's nothing but demons, that you can see all these different departments that are going to be affected, all right? But just because they want to do away with ICE, all right, they're willing to sacrifice all of these other different departments. The labor department, I'll rewind a little bit, right?
Provide any money to ICE unless there are some serious changes. And here's the problem. That money for ICE is rolled into a larger funding package that must pass Congress by the end of the day on Friday. It was already passed the House. The House is on recess. And now Democrats say they have the votes to block that bill, because in the 53-47 Senate, you need 60 votes to advance any legislation. And Chuck Schumer, the Senate Democratic leader, says Republicans do not have the votes unless those changes are made. Now, the question is going to be, how long will Democrats dig in? Will the White House concede?
So that's the book of Mark, chapter 3, verse 24. It says, and if a kingdom be divided against itself, that kingdom cannot stand. So you read it in the NLT, it says a kingdom divided by civil war will collapse. All right. Now let's fast forward just a little bit.
Homeland Security Department and others would be impacted by this crisis. The Defense Department, Health and Human Services, the Labor Department, Housing and Urban Development, Homeland Security Department, and others.
See all these different departments that will be affected by this funding. You see, in America, right, you have which the dollar, all right, is cooked, right? You have gold and silver reaching a peak, all-time highs, all right? You have the system that's gonna be set up when this thing collapses is all ready to go. Okay, so that's why we telling you, man, all hell is getting ready to break loose here in America. Okay, all hell is already breaking loose in other parts of the world, right? So it's only a matter of time before it starts to happen here. You see, it says verse 25, it says, and if a house be divided against itself, that house cannot stand. Similarly, a family splintered by feuding will fall apart. You see, and that's what we're seeing. All right, the elites, all right, who who the Lord is controlling on the left-hand side, right? They're orchestrating this thing just as Yahweh Bashim Yahushai wanted to go, But I'm going to fast forward this just a little bit. It's another point I wanted to grab in here.
So that means
funded. I don't think the DOD, we've already seen their willingness to put Marines on the street in LA. I think that what we've seen at this point is that we have a regime right now in power that is not fighting or working with or for the American people.
Right. And he on point. All right. And that's why you have so much, like Elder Yashawama been going into, so much division, all right, among MAGA. All right. People who were pleading and begging for this guy to get back in the office are turning on him. You see? The MAGA family is splintered by feuding, all right? And it is what? Falling apart, man, all right?
And I think they should shut that shit down.
This isn't... Any message you want to send directly to ICE, Trump, and the billionaires behind him?
Get out. We'll drive you out.
We have workers right...
And this is the a kingdom being divided by civil war, man, all right? And which is ultimately is going to collapse, right? And I bet you 10 times out of 10.
People. And I think they should shut that shit down.
This isn't... Any message you want...
This guy right here was probably pro-MAGA, man, all right? But I'm going to skip forward just a little bit, all right? Because, this is what's going on here in America, all right? Now, real quick, I'm going to jump to the Second Esdras 15, all right, and 16 in the GNT, all right? It says... there will be a great political turmoil with one group trying to overpower another and gain control while ignoring a legitimate government. There will no longer be free access to cities because the struggle for power will bring destruction, terror, and total confusion where people live, all right? And, we saw how bad it started getting when the government was shut down the last, a couple months ago, all right? With the whole the food stamp thing. All right, with the different government benefits and different things, all right, and people were losing their shit, man, all right? So just imagine if this thing goes another month this time, all right? The damage is already done, you see? And this is what's going to cause people, they're already on edge, all right, up there in Minnesota, all right? And man, people are going to start being more on edge in different places, man. You see? This is why, because it's the spirit of prophecy, man, all right?
And Homeland Security. House and Senate leaders presented a bill on Tuesday to fund most of the federal government to keep it up and running. The sticking point here this time around is not health care spending like last time. This time, it's about DHS and ICE spending. The bill on the table now would add another $10 billion for ICE. That's on top of the $74 billion added to ICE and $191 billion added to Homeland Security funding through President Trump's big, beautiful bill over the summer. The bill now would cut ICE's budget for immigration enforcement and deportations, but it would allocate $20 billion for body cameras. The House and Senate now only have 5 working days to sign off on a deal and get it to the president for signature to avoid another shutdown on January 30th.
ICE is beyond reform.
All right. And, you know, this guy basically wants to get rid of ICE. All right. And, you know, these Republicans not going for that. All right. And which ultimately, like I just read in the previous two scriptures, man. All right. It's Isaiah 19, verse 2. It says, "And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight everyone against his brother and everyone against his neighbor, city against city and kingdom against kingdom." All right. And the modern day Egyptians are who? The Americans, man. All right. These are the modern day Egyptians. You see? And they're getting ready to do what? Fight everyone against his brother and everyone against his neighbor. You see? And we can see that this place, you know, is getting ready to go, you know. So that's pretty much the point. You know, I just wanted to get this quick lesson in. You know, I was listening to this video, you know, and just to show, you know, you can go scroll down the feed, man. All right. A lot of brothers going into, you know, hell. All right. It's getting ready to, like it says, if we shall never pass the danger set, you know, how shall we inherit the kingdom? You know, so you got to fix your mind, all right, meditate, gird up your loins, all right, to get ready to go through the danger set, man, all right, because going to camp, all right, doing lessons, being on the conference calls, the classes, all right, all of that's getting ready to come through in, you see, and we're going to have to apply that knowledge and understanding that we have learned, you know, which is ultimately wisdom, you see. So that's pretty much the point, man. So, you know, with that, I'm going to give all praises, glory, infinite honors unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachak Wadash. Until next time, I say shalom.